In the next part of this lesson, for Magic Sam's I Don't Want No Woman, we're trying to break down the song. And what I want to do in this lesson, the second part of the lesson, is go through some of the verses and the chord ideas. It's taken me a long time listening to this to really figure this out and get the rhythm for it. Maybe it's easy for somebody else, but I had to spend a lot of time on this. And getting the timing on some of the chords and the licks and how he mixes in the chords with the single string runs and all that. It's kind of tricky, at least I thought so. But I'll go through it with you and show you what he's doing, and you can work on it yourself. I'm going to show you the general idea that he uses for all the verses in the song. And I'll show you some of the fills. He uses like the same 2 or 3 fill ideas the whole tune. And then there's 2 solos, and we'll go through the 2 solos and then the end tag, note for note, like we did the introduction. Now the song starts out, when he finishes up the introduction, he plays this. And he goes to an F sharp 7. And then to me it sounds like he's doing something like this. Let me just play the first part of this through one time. Verse. So let me show you that, and I may not have gotten the timing down perfectly. I'm trying to work on that. I like this song. I want to play this song. What I'm hearing is when he's over the 1, so when the verse starts, he's playing a little 9th chord. This is a B flat, first position 9th chord. My first finger on the 6th fret of the 5th string, my second finger on the 6th fret of the 4th string, 3rd string, my ring finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string, and my pinky on the 7th fret of the 2nd string. And at first I thought maybe a 7th, but if you listen to it real carefully, you hear that. And then right away, he goes to this little lick. And I am listening very carefully to this, and I know this part. He's playing this, starting on the 7th fret of the 2nd string, the bend on the 9th fret of the 3rd string, back to the 9th fret of the 3rd string, and then back and forth between the 7th fret of the 3rd string, 9th fret of the 4th string. And then there, I can't tell if he's playing just like that, little chord there, 3 strings, which would be like a B6th, or if he's getting his fingers all the way back to some form of that 7th chord. When I listen to it, he's playing it so fast, and to keep the timing and to keep the vocal going, I think he'd almost have to do this. And then he throws in this E7. This is, again, that same shape. We had it here when we used it as the 5 for the introduction. And then when he plays the 4, he's going to play that here with my first finger on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. That's an E7. So the whole first part of that, of the verse, he's doing this. And he comes back to the B9 just real quick. So that whole first part. And that's what I hear going on. I tried doing this, but it's too awkward. You could do this and play like an abbreviated version, or even kind of just 2 fingers there at the 7th fret on the 1st and 3rd strings. But it sounds to me like he's playing that. And then going to the 7th chord. There's this continuous rhythm thing going. So one more time. Now he's going to go to this fill, which he uses over and over again. He's going to play something like this. He's going to play this. Let me do that again. And I can't tell from the recording how he winds that up, but with the timing. And then he goes. Does that same fill again. So that fill, he's starting with the bend on the 3rd string again at the 9th fret. And then he's doing this double long bend. Now, I use my pinky a lot on this, but I have seen some video of Magic Sound that they have on YouTube, and it looks like he'll use his ring finger, which is stronger and easier to control on those bends. I have big hands, so it's easier for me actually, usually, to use the pinky, but I think it sounds more controlled if you use the ring finger. So anyway, it goes like this. So I'm bending up, getting the 6th, 7th fret of the 2nd and 1st string, 2 bends, and then I'm going 7th fret of the 1st string, 7th fret of the 2nd string. One more time. Then I'm doing this, going to the 10th fret of the 1st string to the 7th fret to the 7th fret of the 2nd string, just like we did at the very beginning of the song. Remember the introduction? Something like that. So that whole lick. One more time slow. And then he goes into the 4 with that E7th. Something like that. Back to the 1 and then that same lick. And then the 5. And then on the turnaround, when he gets ready to wrap up the verse, he plays a little variation on the lick that he used as a fill. He does something like this. And he's going to just do. So one more time. So he started it out with that same bend, that little phrase which we've used before. But this time he's going right to the 10th fret of the 1st string. And that same lick. Again. And then when he gets here, he's going to go the first time around, he goes to the F sharp 7. And then he goes into the next verse, which is the same. Now here he does a little different fill. He plays this something like that, and then the same. Now this time, the second time around, instead of winding up on the F sharp 7th, the Magic Sound chord, I think he plays a straight C7 shape. It sounds different to me. So he does this. That's going to lead us into the stop time of the song. Now in the verses, when he gets to stop time, he sings and he just does this. First solo out of that lick. So the stop time, he's just going from a C9 to a B9, and then into the next verse of the song. And then if you listen to the rest of the song, that second verse, he does that fill, and I have it tabbed out exactly for you. But throughout the rest of the song, he does the same three fills he did in the first verse, where he does this. Whoops, one more time. Or something like that. Or at the very end of the verse. Now the timing to lead into the stop time is something like this. And again, listen to the song and see how he does that. I'm more interested in showing you what he's playing. And the timing, if you want to play the song for yourself, you got to listen to it and figure it out if you want to play it live or something. I'm more interested in extracting ideas and stealing licks from it. That's the second part of the lesson, the verses. And now we're going to get into the two solos and try to dissect those note for note. A lot of great guitar in that. And then we'll wrap up by looking at the end tag. And the third lesson will cover all that stuff. Again, any questions, comments, observations, ideas, corrections, let me know. I'd love to hear it. That's how I get better as a guitar player too. I like to figure this stuff out. But I also like to learn it from others. See you soon.